Hi guys, welcome back to Grace Gowdy Pilates. Today I'm going to take you through a really gentle Pilates session. You don't need any equipment and it's just nice to move the body and get things moving. So you're going to lie onto your back to start with, like all the way down, your feet just a little wider than your hips and arms can be out to the side as well. Inhale, take a nice deep belly breath. When you exhale, I want you to drop your knees over to the right, and when you do that, you're going to look towards the left. You're going to feel a nice stretch through the spine. Draw the legs back through center and then over to the other side. And get that release through the back. And just keep dropping the knees from side to side, getting that stretch and release. Look in the opposite direction that you're dropping the knees for the full spinal twist. And then come back through center. Just do one more either side. Last one here. And then come back through center. Bring your feet a little bit closer together so they're hip width distance apart, and bring your hands back onto the mat. You're going to inhale, take a nice deep belly breath. As you exhale, I want you to imprint the small of your back into the mat. You're going to start to peel your tailbone off, lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Inhale, take a deep belly breath up here, and as you exhale, start to crumble through the spine, roll yourself down one vertebrae at a time, and then release the tailbone at the end. Inhale, take a deep belly breath. Exhaling, imprinting, peeling your tailbone off, lifting the hips up, press evenly through both heels. Inhale, take a deep belly breath. As you exhale, roll yourself down. Getting that nice big stretch along the spine. Release the tailbone at the end. And then exhale, peeling the tailbone off, lifting the hips up, reaching the knees long so you're opening up through the hip flexors, and then rolling down. Feels so nice on the back. The next time that you lift your hips up, I want you to keep your hips up nice and high. You're then going to float the hands overhead and then back onto the floor behind you. Keep reaching the arms long behind you as you start to roll yourself down one vertebrae at a time. The tailbone anchors, and then bring your hands down by your side. You should feel a really nice big stretch along the spine. Inhale, take a deep belly breath. Exhaling, imprinting, peeling the tailbone off, lifting the hips up. Float the hands up and overhead, reach the arms long, find that length, and then roll yourself down. Get that movement through the back, through the abdominals. Bring the hands down by your side. And again, exhaling, imprinting, peel the tailbone off, lifting the hips up. Make sure your knees are in line with the second toes, they're not rolling out to the side. And then roll yourself down, find that length. Go for another 3 like this. Keep lengthening out each time. Go for 2 more. Last one here. Exhaling, imprinting, peeling the tailbone off, lifting up, hands float behind the head, keep them reaching long as you roll yourself down one vertebrae at a time. Tailbone anchors, bring your hands down by your side. From here, can you float your right leg up into tabletop and then lower the right leg down. Inhale, take a deep belly breath, and exhale, float the left leg up into tabletop. Inhale, lower the leg down. So we're just working, this is called your dead bug. And we're just focusing on the lower abdominals here and the really deep abdominals as well. So your transverse abdominal. They act like a corset and they really help to stabilize the body. So you might not feel this quite intensely, that's okay, but the main focus is just to keep the pelvis nice and still. You don't want the pelvis rocking from side to side. So if you need to place your hands onto your hip bones, you can, and just to feel like you're not putting too much pressure on one hand than the other. Just floating the leg up. Inhale, lowering down. Exhale. And then inhale here. So nice little gentle movements. Go for one more either side. Last one. Nice. You're going to float your right leg back up into tabletop, followed by your left leg. Keeping the legs in tabletop, you're now going to inhale, toe tap your right leg down, then exhale, draw the right leg back into tabletop. Then you're going to alternate through the left leg. And just keep alternating here. If this ever gets too much, just go back to what we were doing before, where you're keeping both feet on the ground and then just lifting one leg in tabletop. This is just a little extra pressure on the abdominals. Inhale and then exhale. Try and keep that little gap between the small of your back and the mat. If it's too much, then either make the movement smaller so you don't have to go all the way down to the ground. You can just take the legs out 20 centimeters. Or if it feels nicer for you, have a slight imprint and then try with the legs that way. See if that feels a little bit nicer for you. If this is still a little bit easy, you can go to double leg toe tap. So both legs can go down, both legs can come back through center. Again, you don't have to make the movement as big. You can make it smaller by just sending the legs out a little bit and then drawing them back, whichever feels good for you. And then exhale here. We're not here for too much longer. We've just got 5. For 4. Last 3. 2 more. Final one here. Lower the legs down. You're going to keep the feet flat. I want you to interlace your fingertips together. You're going to lift up the neck, thumbs track down the neck, elbows out wide to the side. Keeping the head heavy in your hands. Inhale, take a nice deep belly breath. As you exhale, you're going to curl up through the head, neck and shoulders. Draw your gaze to where the ceiling meets a wall. And then inhale, lower everything down. Exhaling, lift everything up. Inhale to lower everything down. Keep the head heavy in the hands. It's only a little movement here. You don't have to pull on the neck. Your abdominals are doing the work to lift your upper body up and to control the lower. Go for 4. Exhale, lift up for 3. Try and keep that little gap between the small of your back and the carriage, or in the mat, sorry. For 2. Last one, keep yourself lifted. With your right hand, you're going to reach behind your right thigh. I want you to grab hold of it. With your left hand, reach behind your left thigh, grab hold of it. Curl yourself up a centimeter or 2. Now, without letting your upper body drop, bring your right hand behind the head, left hand behind the head, and then lower yourself down. So exhale, lift up, hold it here. Right hand, right thigh. Left hand, left thigh. Curl yourself up, hold. Right hand behind the head, left hand behind the head. Lower yourself down. And again, exhale, lift. Right hand, left hand, curl up, hold it here. Right hand behind the head, left hand behind the head. Lower yourself down. You should now really begin to feel your upper abdominals working. Use your breath. Exhale, lift. Right hand, left hand, curl up, hold. Right hand behind the head, left hand behind the head, lower down. Go for 4 more like this. You've got for 3. 2 more. Last one here. Lift up, Right hand, left hand, grab hold, lift up a little higher. Right hand behind the head, left hand behind the head, lower everything down. Well done. From here, you're going to roll onto your right side. You're going to bend your right elbow. It's going to support your head, and I want both legs bent at a 90-degree angle. Your left hand can come onto your hip, and I want you to have a little gap between the bottom waist and the mat. That way you've got equal length through both sides of the waist, and you're not just shortening through the top waist. So lengthen out, left hand onto the hip. Now keeping the left leg really nice and heavy, I just want you to lift the whole leg up and then inhale to lower down. So your exhale, lifting the leg up, inhale to lower down. So when you lift the leg up, you want the knee in line with the hip and the ankle in line with the knee. So everything's it's the same height, essentially. You'll notice that my foot's nice and relaxed. It's not flexed, it's not active. You can relax the foot down. Inhale, and then exhale, lift. Inhaling, and then exhaling, lifting up. You're going to start to feel that left glute working and waking up. It's a little subtle movement, but it really gets in there. Keep using your breath. Starting to activate through the glute med on the left side. Go for 4, for 3, 2. On the next one, keep the left leg lifted. Imagine you've got a little pencil coming out of your kneecap. I want you to draw nice big circles with that left knee. Just allowing your femur to roll around within the hip socket, making that leg circle nice and big without letting your hips roll back and forth. Circling up and around, up and around. We've got it here. Using our breath. 3 more in this direction. For 2. Last one here. Now you're going to reverse the circle in the other direction. Lift up, circle. Lift up and circle. Nice and controlled. Whew, so you don't even need a band to make this burn. Really feel that glute working. If there's any other exercises you want to see or any kind of classes you want to see on my new videos that I make, let me know in the comments below and I will be able to do them for you. So if you want to focus on arms or legs or abs, let me know. But for the moment, we just continue circling that glute. We've just got 3 more. For 2, 1 more like this. Lower the leg down. Now we're going to get a little book opening stretch here. So bring your left hand behind the head. Keep the hips tracking forward and keep them nice and stacked on top of one another. From here, I want you to draw the left elbow up to the ceiling without letting your hips roll back. Try and get the left shoulder onto the mat behind. And then come back through center. It's a nice rotation through the spine here. Try and get that left shoulder blade down and then come back through center. And then coming back through center. Just 3 more. And 2. Go for 1 more like this. And then come back through center. We're going to lift ourselves up and swap over to the other side, ready for our right glute. So lying onto your side, bend the left elbow, both legs are bent at that 90-degree angle. Get nice and comfy. Your right hand can come onto your hip, and we're just starting by lifting up our right leg and then lowering it down. Sometimes you'll start to feel the bottom glute working as well. It's trying to assist the top glute. Especially because we've just worked the bottom glute, you might feel it a little bit more now. just lifting up. So the knee comes in line with the hip and the knee's in line with the ankle. Exhale, lift. Inhale to lower. You guys have got it. Keep lifting up and out of your bottom waist. That right glute switching on now. Little and simple, but really effective. On this next one, you're going to keep the right leg lifted, and now circles with that right leg, just allowing the femur to roll around this hip socket here. Keep using your breath. Keep that 90-degree angle with the leg, and just circling that leg around. Use your breath. Keep the right foot nice and floppy. Go for a couple more in this direction. Last one, and then you're going to reverse it. Nice big circles with that right leg. There we go. Circling that leg up and then down. Up and then down. Last little bit here, feeling that right glute. We've got it. For 3, 2 more. Last one, lower the leg down, tap out that glute, well done. You're gonna bend your right elbow this time, hands are both behind the head. Keep the hips tracking forward as you come into your book opening here. You might find that one side's a little tighter than the other. Try and get the shoulder blade down. I can really feel I'm quite tight on my right side. A little bit restricted movement. So I've got to keep it moving so I don't get too jammed up. Go for 3 more here. 2. 1 more. And then back. You're going to come into a 4-point kneeling position. We're going to come into a quick glute stretch before we move on. You're going to bring your right leg forward, left leg goes back, and try and keep the hips nice and square. It's like a big pigeon stretch, and you should feel that glute releasing. So just rock from side to side if that feels nice for you. Get that release through the butt. Just a few more rocks. And then you can take that leg away. You're going to swap to the other side and then rock back and forth. Back and forth. Get that release through the left glute this time. Last one here. And then you're going to come into a 4-point kneeling position. Your shoulders are over your wrists, your knees are in line with your hips. You're going to exhale, press away from the floor, draw your gaze towards your belly button, and then inhale, let the belly hang, draw your gaze forward. And again, exhale, pressing away, rounding through the back, and then inhale, let the belly hang, draw your gaze forward. Just a couple more, rounding through the back. Last one here. Scooping up through the abdominals. And then finding your neutral spine. We're going to find a little plank here. So I want you to step your feet back. You're going to lift the knees off and lift up and out of your shoulders. We're just holding here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can you lift the hips up and just pedal out through the legs just for a little bit of a hamstring stretch and release and a calf stretch. If you need to walk yourself a little closer, you can. Just a few more. And then lower your knees down, have a little break. You can come into a child's pose position, reach your arms out long. We're going to do that 2 more times. So I want you to find that plank position here. We're just holding it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pike the hips up. You can pedal out through the legs. Try and have a nice flat back. Stretch out those calves, stretch out those hamstrings. And then you're going to lower the knees down, find your child's pose. Reach the arms out long, you can roll out the wrists. You've just got one more set like this. Come into that 4-point kneeling position. Stretch those legs out, holding the plank for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 to go, for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pike the hips up. This time, can you walk your feet a little bit towards your hand or all the way towards your hands? And I want you to curl yourself up 1 vertebrae at a time. The last thing to lift is your gaze. Inhale up here. Exhale, roll yourself down 1 vertebrae at a time. Your hands come to the floor. Find a child's pose position. Reach your arms out long. Walk your hands over to the left of the mat. Your right hand goes on top. Stretch out through the right side of the body. And then walk your hands over to the right side of the mat. Left hand goes on top. Stretch out through the left side of the body. Come back through center. Re-stack up nice and tall. You guys are all finished for today. Thank you very much for joining. And let me know what you'd like to see next in the coming videos. Thanks guys. I hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Bye.